Something serious just unfolded, a moment that could have turned deadly in seconds. US troops came dangerously close to being hit, and now the situation is escalating fast. A sudden surge in Donald Trump's ongoing war with Iran is now unfolding. What you just witnessed shows us troops narrowly avoiding a ballistic missile strike. This footage has only recently emerged. It was recorded within the past few days. Some reports suggest it may have occurred in Bahrain. Looking at developments overnight and into the early hours across Bahrain, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, and other areas, the escalation is accelerating rapidly. At the same time, Donald Trump appears to be in a state of panic. He has been signaling that he is prepared to step away from Iran entirely. He is now watching the U.S. economy decline. During a recent Oval Office press conference, Trump suggested that the United States could simply abandon the Strait of Hormuz and allow Iran to take control. He stated that other countries should handle the situation instead. He questioned why the United States should remain involved at all, but war does not work that way. There are opposing sides, and Iran is making its position clear. It has declared that it will maintain strict control over the Strait of Hormuz. It has also followed through on earlier warnings. Iran had stated that further escalation would lead to attacks on American-linked companies in Arab nations. Now that escalation is happening, over the past 12 hours, multiple incidents have been reported. Large fires broke out at Kuwait airport after Iranian strikes hit fuel storage tanks. Iran has been able to strike that area with little resistance. Tankers near the coast of Qatar have also been hit by unidentified projectiles. This is one of the latest developments showing Qatar being targeted again. There was speculation about a temporary pause or agreement, but the attacks have resumed in Bahrain, a major fire burned through the morning. Residents described it as one of the loudest nights since the conflict began. Ballistic missiles, Shah drones, and FPV drone swarms were deployed. Reports indicate that the site may have been a Batelco headquarters where major infrastructure and digital services are based. This aligns with Iran's earlier threats to target key infrastructure. Meanwhile, heavy airstrikes have been reported in Tehran, Iran's capital. US and Israeli forces have carried out intense attacks. In southern Lebanon, Israeli strikes destroyed an entire building complex. Civilian casualties have been reported, including medical workers and residents. Footage from southern Beirut shows the moment a building on Zaid Rabbani Avenue was struck. Reports suggest that warnings were issued before the strike as the Middle East faces widespread conflict. Donald Trump appears to be attempting to withdraw after weakening US global standing. Several countries, including France, Spain, Italy, and Switzerland, have restricted us access to their airspace and military bases. These nations were not consulted before the war began. NATO was also not involved in the initial decision-making. At the same time, statements from Trump and Marco Rubio indicate a shift away from NATO. They have questioned the value of the alliance. As a result, NATO appears increasingly fractured. Meanwhile, global powers like Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping benefit from the situation. Sanctions on Iran and Russia have been reduced, allowing Russia to generate significant revenue. Russia is also assisting Iran in targeting US positions. 13 US military bases in the Middle East have been evacuated. American assets continue to be targeted. Iran maintains firm control over the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi has rejected negotiations with the United States. He has outlined demands including reparations, retention of missile capabilities, and regional security guarantees. While these events unfold, US lawmakers aligned with Trump are absent. Several members of Congress are currently in Scotland during a government shutdown. Meanwhile, Trump dismissed Iranian threats during a press briefing. He claimed Iran lacks the capability to respond. However, intelligence suggests Iran still possesses thousands of drones and significant missile capacity. In the Oval Office, Trump claimed Iran had been completely weakened. He stated that Iran was not responding and had no military strength left. However, ongoing attacks contradict these claims. Control of the Strait of Hormuz remains with Iran. No widespread internal uprising has occurred as previously suggested. Trump also criticized media coverage, claiming reports exaggerated Iran's resistance, yet evidence continues to show active conflict. He insisted that US forces dominate the skies and face little opposition. He claimed Iran has no navy or military capability remaining. Despite these statements, a national address has been scheduled. Trump is expected to speak at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Questions remain about what he will address. The U.S. position in the region has weakened. Alliances have been strained. Opposing powers have gained influence. Public opinion in the United States reflects growing concern. A recent Reuters Ipsos poll shows that about 2/3 of Americans want the U.S. to withdraw. Only 27% support the war. Republican voter identification has also dropped to historic lows, according to Gallup data. Meanwhile, some political figures are engaging in unrelated activities. Reports show certain lawmakers traveling abroad, others are seen in personal leisure settings. These actions contrast sharply with the seriousness of the situation. Iran's leadership continues to reject diplomacy. Trust between the two nations has collapsed. Pro-government demonstrations have taken place across Iran. Public figures and officials have appeared at rallies to reinforce support. Domestically, unrelated controversies are also emerging. Reports involving public figures have sparked debate about hypocrisy and personal conduct. These discussions highlight broader concerns about leadership credibility. Trump has also focused attention on a proposed presidential library project. However, reports suggest it may function as a commercial property. Plans reportedly include luxury features and commercial use. Public land has been allocated for the project, raising further questions. During a recent discussion, Trump described the project as potentially becoming a hotel. He compared it to other presidential libraries and emphasized its location and design. At the same time, a serious incident has been reported in Iraq. An American journalist has been abducted in Baghdad. The individual is believed to be held by a militia group. US officials have acknowledged the situation and are coordinating efforts for release. However, the official response has raised concerns about tone and urgency. That is the current situation. Developments are ongoing. Updates will continue as more information becomes available. Make sure to subscribe and stay informed. Help us reach 7 million subscribers. Stay connected for continuous coverage and updates.